Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Here we go. Hey y'all, come on in so we can get started. It's a Mother's Day celebration. Hey girl. Not yet, one day. Hello. I like that we're speaking it into existence, though. I like that. Are you a mom? Yes. Thank you, Queen. Are you a mom? If so, we're celebrating the moms today and all the soon-to-be moms as well. Let's see. Where are all the people that are tardy to the party? Hello. How are you? This is our Mother's Day edition. We're celebrating all the moms and also even the soon-to-be moms because y'all gonna join this amazing club soon. Are you a mom? Lav and Lux? I thought you were. I'm not 100% sure, but let me know if you are down below. Thank you. I got it from, yes, you are, Mom. Yay! I got it from Sassy Jones Boutique. Have you seen? She does like all the accessories and stuff. So, oh, 2 girls. Okay. I have a son and 2 daughters. So my son is my oldest. He's 16. Then I have a 15-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old daughter. So I have 3. I got it from Sassy Jones. They had this fedora sale, girl. It was 2 for $40. And she usually sells, like now she's selling the fedoras for $40 each. So I got them 2 for $40. So you know I got 4, right? I got royal blue, this mustard color, I got black, and then I got like this leopard print that's real cute. But girl, I want like the olive, the burgundy, I want to go back and get a bunch of other colors. Hey girlie, what's going on? Hey Quintina. Hey moms, all the moms in the house. Look y'all, I'm drinking. I know I was supposed to do the 30 days no drinking, but you know that didn't work out. But I'm only doing like 1 or 2 glasses a week. So I'm still doing good. I'm still eating clean. But yes, check her out. Definitely. Black owned. I think she's based out of Atlanta, I believe. And I love her personality. She's like, you'll see all her videos and everything. She does great video content. Go to her page. She's really, really cool. Girl, no, because I wasn't supposed to be drinking for 30 days because, you know, I'm working out and doing all of that. But I was like, honey, this is the Mother's Day edition, okay? We gotta celebrate one another. I said, I gotta have a glass of wine a day. I've been doing like 1 to 2 glasses a week. So I'm still doing good. Because before I was doing 1 to 2 glasses a day. So we're graduating, you know, we're evolving. We're evolving. Hey, Quintina, I'm not talking about anything. Oh, she's in Richmond. That's right. I apologize. That's right. She's in Richmond, Virginia, not Atlanta. No, girl, she was asking where I got my hat from. And I was telling her how this is the Mother's Day edition and we're celebrating moms and even those that are soon to be moms, they'll be joining the club soon. So that's all I was talking about. And the fact that I wasn't really supposed to be drinking because remember I was supposed to not be drinking for 30 days, but this is, you know, the Mother's Day edition. So we gotta celebrate one another. Early Mother's Day edition. Because I'm like, this weekend, people going to be busy. They ain't going to want to do no lives probably. So let me get my live out the way on my regular Wednesday. So y'all can't try to say it was Mother's Day. I couldn't come to your live. It's Wednesday. So anyway, I wanted to get on here to talk to y'all. Yes, 8:06. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I know, but where did you get your hat, girl? I missed the net. Ma'am, we're talking about Mother's Day celebrations. You talking about this hat? I got this hat from Sassy Jones Boutique, or Sassy Jones. I don't know if it's boutique too. The thing I love about it though, y'all, is that it's adjustable. So if you have like a really smaller head, you can pull the strings and it adjusts on the inside. But the issue I have is because I have locks, I never can find fedoras that'll fit me ever because my locks. So the fact that I ordered these and it fits on my head, I was sold right there. So I got 4 different colors, and I got this mustard color. I got a black. I got a royal blue, and then I got like a cheetah print that's real cute, or leopard print, cheetah print, whatever. I haven't worn that one yet. And then she has like a burgundy, a olive green, some other colors too. So check her out. Hey y'all. So I wanted to get on here. I'm hoping y'all are gonna jump into and call in and request to join so we can kind of talk for a couple of minutes and then the next person can join. Because I wanted this to be interactive. I don't want it to like just be me talking. You know I love talking with y'all for Girl Chat. So, but anyway, this was just going to be about us celebrating one another as mothers, even those that may be on here that aren't moms, just telling y'all a little bit about our club and how we can't wait for you to join it because it is one of the most rewarding, or for me, the most rewarding role that I have in my life is being a mother and a wife. I love being a mom. I love my children so much. So I just want to talk about, some of the struggles we've had in motherhood, some of the surprises, things that we didn't expect, just, as a way to kind of celebrate and uplift motherhood and everything that we've been through. I know that we're survivors. We are super women. So all the moms out there that are doing it, I respect y'all, and especially the single moms that are doing it on their own, like for real on their own. My hat's off to you because I don't know what I would do without my husband. Like if it was just me and my kids, I'd be ready to probably jump off a bridge. So if you're doing it alone, salute, queen. I missed the name. Yeah, I said Sassy Jones. Sassy Jones. So I know y'all already know a little bit about my story when I had my older 2 kids when I was in grad school, and it was kind of all against like the plan that I had for motherhood. I was supposed to like finish all my schooling, then have kids. So that was something for me that was a huge adjustment. And I think at the end of the day now, I'll be turning 40 this year. This is my year of 40, and my kids are 16, 15, and 10. And now that I look back, I'm kind of glad that I had them when I had them, because I'm like, I don't want to be in my 60s with young kids. No shade if anyone on here is going to be that age when they have their young kids, but I'm glad that my kids are going to kind of be moving on when I'm in my 40s, and I'll still be able to kind of hopefully enjoy my life and not have like osteoarthritis when my kids are younger. So I'm kind of happy that I just got them out of the way. But I'll say in the beginning, I was really discouraged. Like I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it out of grad school with having kids. So that was difficult for me. And then I went through with my 3rd child, my youngest child, I kind of went through almost like a little bit of a postpartum depression. I wasn't clinically diagnosed. So for anyone that has been, I don't want to take anything away from like a true diagnosis, but I kind of went into this place where it was like, I felt like I was sad all the time. I didn't like the way that I looked. I had like a lot of emotional detachment. I felt like not necessarily from my daughter, but I felt like more from maybe like my husband and just people. Like I just wanted to be alone. So that was kind of a difficult time for me when I had my 3rd child, and I'm not really sure why. I don't know what, precipitated it or if it just was, I just had postpartum depression. I'm not sure what it was, but it was difficult afterwards adjusting. I had my youngest when I was 29. I did pretty much everything the same as far as like nursing and all of that. So that piece didn't change. I feel like I still had the same level of support. I was out of grad school by then, so I feel like it wasn't even as stressful of a time. But for whatever reason, I was putting more stress on myself. So like after I had her, I was just like sad. I just was like down on myself. I didn't feel like I was attractive. Like even when I had lost the weight, and I actually gained the least amount of weight with my last child, my daughter, my youngest, and I just didn't feel attractive. So then that made it difficult for my husband because he trying to come on to me, and I'm like, I'm gross, I don't feel whatever. So I just feel like I was going through kind of a postpartum thing. So I don't know if any of you all dealt with any type of postpartum after any of your children, or you have a friend or a loved one or someone close to you that dealt with postpartum. But I feel like I definitely had it after my youngest. Luckily, I'm, past that. Obviously, she's 10, but I feel like it was a period where I really was just depressed. Not depressed to a point where I wanted to like hurt myself or hurt my child or anything like that, but just like very sad, very negative thinking, and just didn't think much of myself during that period as far as like the way that I looked. I didn't feel sexy, I didn't feel attractive, anything like that. So that was a rough period for me after I had my third child. So a lot of people look from the outside and they think like, oh, you got this perfect life or whatever, but I was struggling a lot emotionally during that time, and I felt bad about the way that I'm not gonna say treated my husband. I felt like I wasn't as responsive to my husband as I could have been during that time, but I couldn't get out of like my head and my own emotions and how I was feeling about myself, and then that was spilling over into our relationship because of how I was feeling about me. So I had to work through that. I didn't end up going to counseling or anything like that. Maybe I probably should have went to see a therapist, but I didn't. I just kind of worked through it on my own, and as time went on, I was able to kind of push through and work through it. But that was definitely a difficult time for me, I would say. More difficult than when I had my older two, when you would think that I'd have been more stressed out in school, but maybe because I had so much going on, I just didn't have time to think about anything else. When I had my youngest, we had just moved into our home, which now will be almost 12 years we've been here. So we had just moved here. I had just started my career as a pharmacist in the community. And then I got pregnant, and then I had my daughter less than a year after that. So there were a lot of things going on as well, and there was a lot of change. So I don't know if that kind of precipitated the depression or whatever, but it was rough during that time. We as people have to start taking self-care, healing serious before we start adding other people into our life. We live and learn. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I will say, Adrian, that I didn't plan any of my kids. Like there was no plan. And not that that's some novel thing. A lot of people have kids and they don't plan them. But I'm talking about I didn't plan at all. I was on birth control with all my kids, and I got pregnant with every single one of them. So my older two, I probably wasn't taking the birth control like I was supposed to. So that's my own fault. My youngest, I'm not sure how we got pregnant with her because I was taking my birth control like I was supposed to, but I'm just extremely fertile. But you're right. We have to check in with ourselves and make sure that we're where we need to be before we decide to bring a child in. But I ain't playing none of mine. They just came in, honey. I found out I was pregnant. So, but point well taken. I'm definitely taking self-care more into consideration now. I probably should have done it more then I was so focused on like school or this or that, and I was very kind of like zoned out in one particular area, and I wasn't thinking about myself as a whole. I was just thinking about I gotta be a mother, I gotta be a wife, I gotta be this, I gotta be that, as opposed to making sure I was taking care of myself. So you live and you learn. Yes, I'm here doing it, girl. I'm doing it. Some of the things that I'll say that I've learned from this kind of motherhood process, or where I am now, this journey in motherhood, is that you cannot parent your kids the same. Like, you can't. I don't know if I said this on the previous live, or maybe one of my other friends have said it, but I feel like my parents' generation, that grew up in the 50s. Well, I say my parents, I don't know how old y'all parents are, but my mom was born like in the 50s. My mother's just is in her 60s, late 60s. So you're born in the 50s and 60s. They came from an era where it was like, everybody do what we say, shut up, sit down, all y'all gonna get your ass beat. Everybody do exactly what we say in this order, right? But my kids, they have different personalities. Like, I can't parent them exactly the same. Like, I want to make sure that they have the same values. They're growing up in a household with the same values, but you can't like specifically parent. You got to tweak it just a little bit for each child. And I think in the beginning, I was thinking more like old school, like my parents, like they gonna do what I say, they gonna sit their ass down. Especially my older two, because they're only 17 months apart. So they're so close. It was almost like they were twins, basically. That's how it felt, because they were always together. They don't really know life without one another. So, but then I slowly started to see that, like, my daughter, you know, she has differences in her personality, and she's a girl. And then my son, he has different. So you can't talk to them and really parent them and treat them exactly the same. There's going to be some differences. And I think that can be challenging when you have a household of 4, 5, 6 people, because you want to be fair, but your approach can't be the same for every child. So that's something I've definitely learned, because I really thought that I was just going to tell all of them, hey, Kiana. I definitely just thought I was going to tell everybody the same thing. Everybody was just going to do, and they didn't respond the same. And they change as they age, right? So for instance, good example, my oldest daughter, when she was younger, you could look at her or whatever and she would like cry, because she was really big on, like, she didn't want to disappoint you and things like that. But now that she's a young woman, she's a teenager, I can't talk to her like how I talked to her when she was 7. Or, you know, I have to treat my teenagers now. They're young adults. They're moving into adulthood in a couple of years. So you have to kind of listen to them more and let them express themselves more, and just let them have more of an opinion. When kids are younger, you're kind of like, almost like, do what I say. Like, you're letting them express themselves, but not as much. But as they get older, you have to really be more open to let them express themselves and say how they're feeling, because if you try to shut them down, oftentimes you can end up missing something that's really important that could be going on. And then they're like, you know what? I ain't saying nothing to her because she's not going to listen to me, or I'm not saying nothing to him, my father or whatever, because he's not going to listen to me. So I'm not sharing any information with them. So it's important to kind of let them express themselves, as long as it's respectful. So I don't know what y'all think. Y'all agree? Hi, Leo. Hey, Nikita, what's going on? So that's definitely one of the things that I learned. I think another thing that I've learned to just give myself grace on is that as a parent, you're going to make mistakes, right? Like, our biggest thing is we want to protect our kids. We don't want nothing to happen to them, right? We be trying to make sure, like, oh my God, let's research this. Let's research this school so they can go to the best school. Let's research this so they can. But at the end of the day, you're always going to make some decision for them, and it may not end up working out like what you thought. And you'll go back and be like, damn, that was a misstep. I probably could have done that better, or I probably, like, I feel like you're constantly second guessing yourself, because you feel like, oh my God, I got these people's lives in my hands. If I make the wrong decision, something can go the wrong way. And I think it freaked me out a little bit more when they were younger, but now I've learned to kind of just back off from it and be like, look, I'm going to take the information I have. I'm going to do the research or whatever I need for that particular decision. I'm going to make the best decision I can with the information I have. And if it ends up not being right, or I end up missing the mark, it's okay. And I can't beat myself up about it. And ultimately, as long as I'm instilling those values in my children, this one mistake that I made about maybe sending them to maybe the second best school instead of the first school, or putting them in this course instead of this course, is that really at the end of the day going to affect their life? Because if they have those values instilled in them, they know the difference between right and wrong, and they're empathetic and they're good human beings, then really all that other shit really doesn't matter, right? I mean, that's just my opinion. So those are probably my biggest lessons learned, things that I think about now, and I'm like, damn, I was probably too hard on myself. And then some of the struggles that I went through in motherhood. But I would say now it's just more the dynamic of having a household, of having 2 kids that are teenagers, and then having another, she's not quite a tween, but she's 10. But my 10-year-old is basically like she's 20. She's like very mature, advanced, everything. So trying to balance out having a 10-year-old that is like, I don't want to be the baby, and I want to have a younger brother and a sister. I'm tired of being the youngest. And then having 2 older ones that are thinking about like their future and getting out the house and driving and all that, and trying to balance that and just make sure that we keep that closeness and we stay connected is really important, because time flies, y'all, right? We understand that time flies. Bre'e knows. I know her boys very well, and I mean, I just can't believe how they've grown up. It's like now I understand what my mother said about, like, I look at you and I remember when you were a baby in my arms. I'm like, girl, get out of here. But now I understand. Like, I look at my kids and I go back and look at old pictures, and I'm just like, How are you 16? I remember when you were 6. How are you 15? I remember when you were 4. How are you 10? I remember like having you. Like what is happening? You close your eyes, it's like a decade goes by. And you close your eyes again and all of a sudden they're out of the house. So just trying to cherish those moments and spend more time with one another and quality time. And it don't always have to be a vacation or a trip or something extravagant. It's game night. It's like, let's sit at the table and just joke about something that we saw on Instagram. I mean, it could be anything. 19 this year. Yeah, it's crazy. So I think just having perspective and not focusing on like the shit that really doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, the closeness and having that connectivity and that love, the family component, that's the piece that really matters the most. All that other stuff, it isn't important. And if it's any time where we realize that, we should realize it now when we're home, spending even more time with our kids than really many of us have been able to spend with our kids. Let's keep it 100, almost in their lifetime, right? Because once you send your kids off to like daycare or whatever, I'm not sure if there's moms on here that had the privilege of staying home with their kids, but you know, you're a stay-at-home mom. But if you had to work and send your kids to daycare or whatever, our kids were at daycare like 8 hours a day, right? 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day, depending upon your work schedule. And you get to see your kids when you come home from work, before dinner, before they go to bed, and then they wake up in the morning and they go off to school. So it's not many hours that you actually get with your kids during the week. You know, you get that time on the weekend, depending upon if you were somebody that had a second job or another hustle, depending upon what was going on in your life. So this time that we're having with our family is more time than we probably had with our family in years. Isn't that crazy to think about that? But it's the truth. It's crazy. Yeah, 10 hours, Bree. Sometimes that they were gone. So if you were dropping your baby off at 6 and you couldn't get back till 5, 4, whatever. So, yeah. You have a 19-year-old in college cried when he left to go to school. Girl, I already know that's how I'm going to be with my son. With all my kids, I'm going to be like that. But my son being my first, and he's 16. So he's a junior next year in high school. And I'm like, every time my daughter, she'll tease me. My oldest will tease me like, you know, Jason, my oldest, his name's Jason. They'll be like, you know, Jason's going to college soon. I'm like, stop bringing it up. Like, I don't want to think about it because I'm going to be crying like a baby, like a fool. I'm going to be a fool when my kids leave this house. I'm like already asking them. Oh, look at him looking at me. I'm already asking them like, so where you think you going to school? Like, you going to be in state or out of state? Girl, I don't want them to leave me. I'm going to be so depressed. I'm going to be so depressed when all my kids leave. Oh my God. But I'll be excited for them that they're, you know, going off into the world and, you know, conquering the world as they see it or whatever. I'll be happy, but I'll definitely, selfishly, I want them to be with me. So it's catch-22. You want them to get out when they get on your nerves. You like, get the hell out. But then when they leave, you crying like a damn fool. So a blundering fool. That's how I'm going to be. So what else y'all want to talk about? Call in, talk to me. Somebody request to join this live. So you can tell me about your lessons learned and whatever tips you have for other moms on here. Maybe they have like the younger children, experiences you went through, things that you want to share. Anyone on here that's a mom to be, possibly, tips for them. Request to join the live, y'all. Don't be trying to be shy. I don't care. Y'all got a bonnet on or whatever. All y'all on here. Wait a minute. Let me double check. Okay, yeah. All y'all on here are cute. Psych, no. Everybody on here is cute, so come on and join in and tell me about your experiences, or if you have any questions for me about motherhood. I know Shakonia on here, Quintina, join this live, or Bre'e, or one of y'all, and tell me about your experiences. I would love to hear from who else is on here. I want to hear from all y'all, actually. Everybody that's on here. Hey. Girl, stop playing with me. I'm not having no more damn kids. Have you lost your mind? You must have lost your mind. I said my youngest is 10 years old. No, I'm not having any more children. No. Now, I haven't like cut any tubes or burnt anything or anything like that, but I do have an IUD, which is working rather well. And maybe my husband will get the vasectomy, snip, whatever. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know, but ain't no more kids coming out of here. It's not happening. No. We thought about having another one after Journey because I kind of was like, oh, she's 4.5 years after Jakaya. Maybe we should have another one that's closer to her. But then we were just like, 4 kids. Yeah, nah. We good. What do you mean you don't have a button? At the bottom, it should say join your live. Let me see. Go live with Bre'e. Okay. Now you can join. Quintina come on here next because she's trying to fake. It should be bringing you on, Bre'e. Hey, Bre'e.
Hey, mama.
Hey, y'all. Introduce yourself to the crowd who doesn't already. I think everybody on here know you, but tell them anyway.
I don't know. Sorry, y'all. I'm in here looking.
Yes, rap.
So I had to put some makeup on. I got a live after this live.
To me.
Hey, guys.
Oh, I don't even know the rest of it. So you look gorgeous.
So
hey, Kim.
So wait a minute. So y'all, I have known Adrian for 20 years. Can I say that?
Yep.
We've known each other a long time. I did not go to Morgan, but I'm an honorary Morganite because of life. But
right.
But my name is Bre'e. I host the Fabulous Fuckery podcast. I'm a social media strategist. I'm a mom of 2 boys, 18 and 13. I work all day. I come home at night and run a side business, and I'm sick of everything. And then after I get off of this, after I get off this live, I got another live.
I know I'm joining at 9. I'm gonna join.
Yay, thank you. But guys, it's like everything you said is so true. Like raising these kids and everybody is different. Like my youngest is 13. He's like baby Einstein. He picks up stuff a lot faster than other kids. And yeah. I'm not saying that just because I'm proud of my baby, but he just picks up stuff. He has an emotional intelligence that you don't see in children that small. Mm-hmm. And he'll pick up on if it's a bad day. And he's my feeler. He's like,
same thing with
mommy.
Journey.
Right. So, it's like, hey, mommy, I feel like you had a bad day. And at first I thought he was like trying to hustle me out of Cash App, but he really cares. He does. He's like, hey, mom, I feel like you had a bad day. Can I light a candle? Let's light candles. Let's listen to music. And I'm like, okay. And we'll like dance and have fun. Like that's my dance party baby. And whereas my oldest is like, you good? You hungry? You want me to order Uber Eats? What we doing?
Wait.
But they all love in their own different ways how they care about their mamas. Right. And it's one thing about a boy. Boys get their mama's hearts differently. Not to say I have nieces, so I have all boys. My sister has all girls. Yeah, I love my babies, but it's different how they.
It's a different connection.
It's a different connection, and then also because my oldest is my baby, and so it's really hard for me to be like, ugh, I want to choke you, right? But at the same time, he got to get choked, so we got to have that disciplinary conversation because he may be taller than me, but I still do kickboxing. I still do what I got to do. I'm not playing with him. But being a mom,
what do you think one of your biggest like struggles were that you overcame with the whole like motherhood thing?
For me, my hardest thing is I'm divorced. I was married for almost 10 years before the divorce was final, and we were together much longer than that. Yeah. And for me, my biggest failure was feeling as though I failed my kids by not saving my marriage. Yeah. But at the same time, we learned each other differently. And my kids are like, we didn't know you were funny. Right. Or they didn't know that I like to dance. And I'm like, how y'all know I like to dance? And here's my book of all my dance classes I did all my life. And so now we have a better understanding for each other that they're saying I'm rebuilding a household, that I'm that I can hold stuff down on my own. Our parents, they respect me differently because they see that mommy's holding stuff down without a daddy. Not that daddy's not in the picture, but daddy, he there, but he, mommy's house and daddy's house still chill, still fun, still turned up, but differently. And they can see that my real personality is coming through. And I feel like we vibe different. Different. They see that life is good.
Yeah. Quintina just said you would have failed your kids by staying.
Exactly.
And that's so true.
And that's not what you're taught, though. I grew up in the church. You grew up in, honor your husband, this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we have to admit the fact that our marriages are not good fits for our personalities.
Right. And I think another thing we see too, that I've seen with, not just with you all, because of course I knew you and your ex for years, but other friends that we have that didn't work out, that ended up divorcing and moving on with their lives, is that also you grow and you evolve, and sometimes you all don't grow and evolve in the same direction, right? You end up going different ways. So it might start off good, and then as time goes on, your interests change, your values may change, you're shooting for the stars over here, and all of a sudden the other person's still doing the same shit they was doing when they 18, and you looking like, nigga, is we moving up or not? Or he might be looking at her like, is we doing, or we gonna still stay where we been, or are we elevating? So if you don't have somebody that has that same mindset as you, or wants to elevate with you, is willing to grow with you, has those same values, those same goals, those same aspirations, that same drive, after a while, this shit ain't gonna work.
We gotta go. And that's the reason why, because now I've been divorced for almost 6 years, and the kids are like, when are we going to get a new stepdaddy? And they mean that until he come up in here. But, when we going to get a new stepdaddy, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then you're out here and you're meeting people and they don't vibe with your energy.
Right.
Who I was 6 years ago is not who I am right now. And I think we end up in these relationships where we want to have somebody because we don't want to be out here by ourselves.
Yep.
I like going out by myself. I like going to the movies by myself. And, and then the kids are like, what did you do today? And they'll learn. You have to have your own individual personality, married or not.
Right. And yeah, Khadijah said if you're not fully happy, if you're not fully happy, the kids won't be happy because they're going to know that you're not happy. Right. And I even said this to you too, when you all broke up and went your separate ways. I was like, you're a different woman to me. And I've known you for 20 years, and I'm like, you changed. I saw you like come out, like literally peel back like the onion, like literally peeled it back, and like you became this different person. And really it was the person that, like you said, you always were. You always liked to dance, you always liked to have fun, you were always that person. But it was being shielded. Now I'm not saying necessarily by him, I'm not
no, but it's a different
but I'm
thing,
just
because
saying,
when you're a young
became
woman,
someone different.
Well, and this other thing is too, is that we have to know who we are regardless of and staying firm in who we are.
Right.
And
no matter who we're with.
Whoever we're, and the thing is that you have all these mommy groups where everybody's got to be the perfect mom, and we got play dates, and
Girl.
this. You remember we tried that shit? It did not work.
I'm not even gonna get on that right now.
You remember we tried that shit?
I'm gonna say some, not all, but some of these mommy groups.
We wasn't for that shit.
That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give you that look.
Because your son is 16, my son is 19, and she's like, you looking for mommy groups? I'm like, fuck them bitches. I'm going to sit in the house. We going to play blocks.
Not fuck them bitches.
It's just like.
Now, you got to find you got to have a tribe now. Don't do that.
I'm not saying don't have a tribe. See, my thing is that way I'm pouring the next glass.
Hey, Shannon.
So, but I had my son young. I had my son at 20.
Yeah.
So, when I had him, no one else had kids. It was just me. And everybody's looking at me with my little science experiment, like, oh shit, you had a baby. What do you do with that? And so like now everyone else is just starting to have their kids, or their kids are in elementary school. And I'm like, everybody made me dinner. So, I'm in a different part of my mommy journey where it's not that it's complete. I would like to be a grandma in 2040. I put it out there. It's on the vision board. Can y'all hold out to 2030? 2040, let me, let this Botox sink in. Once the coronavirus come back, I can
they gotta
let me go back out. We gotta get some things done. I gotta get some new lifts and things. So I can
Listen, I already told my husband, I was like, don't say shit to me, because when we get out of this corona, it's so much money. I'm like, I got a list of maintenance of shit. I don't want to hear nothing about the money I'm spending. I'm like, it's so much stuff I need to get done. Like, don't say nothing to me. So
yes, listen. So I love my boy.
Part of motherhood is keeping ourselves up.
And see, and that's the thing.
So our husbands don't run out and or men don't run out and try to buy like Ferraris. What is this sports car? What do they have the midlife crisis? They get like some young blonde and get a Ferrari or something and run out and get a sports car. I'm like, shit, I gotta keep my shit together, because I'm the old bitch in the club now.
Wait a minute,
we the old bitches in the club. Like we ain't the young ones. We may be fly, but we still the old bitches in the club. So I'm like, I gotta keep my stuff together.
And see, that's the thing too, is still carrying yourself age appropriately. Like, Yes, 40. Okay,
Exactly.
yay. But I still can twerk. Like, little girl, don't disrespect me. Like, I don't hurt
Right.
your feelings in this club. My knees are still good. I do yoga with Marcia now. I got y'all.
Right, exactly. I know. Exactly, Marcia. Yeah, right. Let me get this flexible. Like, girl, you don't want this work for real
They
for me.
don't
Come on,
want
don't
it.
play with me.
No, but life is too short, and I'm so proud of you. I just want to give you because listen, your accolades are, I've been so proud of you guys. She was like, I'm gonna be a doctor. And I'm like, okay, I see you, bitch. And then she's like, I'm pregnant, but I'm still about to be a doctor. And I'm like, okay. And then, like, she kept her focus. This is what we're gonna do. PhD, this, and this. And her, from the time I met her, she's always been the same. Your goals
Yeah.
have always been firm. You like, okay, this baby, I still gotta do my thesis. I'm okay. You go ahead. What you need us to do? You need us to hold the baby. What are we doing while she's doing this? Like, she's one of those people that you gather around and support because she's so authentic in what she means to everybody. So I want to thank you.
That.
No, because girl,
Thank you.
listen, we was going through stuff. We had these marriages, we had these crazy weddings. This bitch right here, she was like, this is the wedding plan. Here's your binder.
Not your binder, Oh, you saying I was Bridezilla? Is that what you saying? I was bride? We supposed to be talking about motherhood. Why are you bringing up bridal party shit?
Ma'am, I'm still traumatized by that shit. That was a wedding, y'all. That was bad. He was looking good. Shit, okay, y'all
Listen. That was a 2004 wedding, y'all. I've been married to my husband since 2004. We've been together 20 years, but that was a 2004 wedding. These weddings now in 2020, honey, they shits on our wedding. Like, we were married pre-digital pictures, pre all this social media bullshit, all this stuff that people doing, like announcements and pre-announcements and baby this and baby gender reveal, this and that. Girl, we was together before all that.
Pretty much. I remember your mother-in-law gave me an instant film. You remember the click and the rolling clicks? She gave me a rolling click camera of the pictures from my wedding.
Yeah,
and I'm
we're
like,
the old married couple. Like, amongst all our friends, pretty much we're like the old ass married couple. Like, this year been married 16 years. Like, we're the old married couple.
But you were the person that when I met you, I was like, yeah, she gonna beat his ass. I'm ready for this. This is it right here. Don't spit. I'm sorry.
Not that.
I was like, I like her for you. This is it right here, nigga. You done. You done. Don't fight it. So, but no, I'm so proud of you, and I'm waiting for, I need me an all-white ensemble, so when we get to go back outside, whenever outside.
Oh, the all-white collection is getting ready to come out. It's gonna get abbreviated because of Corona's bitch ass, but I'm still gonna bring out some all-white stuff.
Listen,
that's coming.
I'm excited because I'm ready to go do some Frankie Beverly.
Oh, no.
We're going to do some line dances. We're going to drink some wine.
Listen, we about to be doing that Savage remix, honey, because that's what I'm about to be doing. Swinging to the left and the right and dropping and whatever Beyonce said. I'm doing all that.
I'm not a TikTok mom. I'm too old. I ain't got all of that Savage. Yeah. I feel like I'm fighting. Like, dance is supposed to be smooth and sexy, and I got to do all
just the Beyonce part. Just a little part she added.
No, but there's a dance routine you got to do on TikTok.
Oh, yeah, I did see it with them two girls. They did really good. I ain't doing that.
I'm too old. My hip don't do all of that. Like, I'm going to have to get some more yoga and Pilates in.
Exactly.
But I'm going to let somebody else come join you. See you later.
Quintina, I'm about to come get you, so don't even try to run. Thanks, Bree.
Bye, hon.
See you. And now I'm bringing Khadijah on here next.
You are a mess. Tell her I'm coming to get you. I said, Lord, let me put on some shots.
Cause I was like, I don't want to have a conversation with myself. Everybody jump in here and give me tell me, drop your pearls, girl. Give me some pearls.
Girl, so I was gonna tell you this story, right? So today, just being a mom, okay, it's been a lot during this pandemic. So I didn't have my son for about maybe like a month because I was working as an essential worker.
Yeah.
So today, when you're home, I don't know about you, but do you cook like breakfast, lunch, and dinner? How do you do that?
Well, since Corona, I have been. Of course, when they were at school, I wasn't. But now it's like I feel like I'm damn Molly the maid.
Listen,
like, I'm trying to do my work, and then the kids are like, "What's for lunch? What's for this? What's for that?" I'm like, "Look, dang it, y'all about to eat some noodles and noodles. Like all this home cooked meal shit. This ain't the 50s, and I'll cook for y'all if I don't have to work." That's why I keep telling my husband, like, this back in the 50s, this is when people was cooking 3 meals a day with pearls in the kitchen with heels. That's when the husband was making whatever amount of money and the woman didn't have to work. But if I'm working, you can't get 3 meals a day, stilettos, pearls.
Hello, thank you. And see, I don't even have a husband. My son thinks he's my husband, okay? So today it was so funny, right? Because I know that I was supposed to be resting, and we talked about that, and I didn't rest at all. I just couldn't go to sleep. Yeah, and I have my wine, Chiconia. Okay, got my wine, girl. So right, so I heard him coming down the steps, and I'm sitting on the couch. He was like, "Mom," I was like, "Shit." He was like, "Mom." So I got under the cover, and I was like, "Girl, why did I have to play sleep?" I was like, "Young, this is so trifling. That is so petty." Yeah. Girl, he walked around and was like, girl, all I could do was laugh. I was like, "What do you want?"
Right.
"What do you want?" I said, "I could have swore you were going to ask me to cook you something to eat. Like, what you want?" I promise you, so I heard him coming down the steps, and I was like,
so this
maybe if I just play dead.
Y'all ignoring your damn kids. On occasion.
Right. I said, maybe if I just play dead, then.
Not dead. Not
sleep,
dead.
Sleep dead. Yes, girl, honey. If I just
Jennifer said story of her life, running and hide from the kids. You really gotta run and hide and find a place.
You sure do. And I'm just like, what in the world? You want breakfast, lunch, and then I'm like, by nature, I'm a nurturer. So when I cook, it's always over the top.
Right.
So it can't just be an egg. You know, it has to be a spinach.
Yes, extra.
And
that's
tomato
how I am too.
And sausage omelet. Like,
and then all that does is spoil them, because my husband be like, "Ooh, where you think of this?" And I'm like, I just made it up. He's like, "Oh, I like this." Blah blah blah. Then all of a sudden, then the shit becomes a request. Then it's like, "Oh, that junk that you had made
exactly
last Tuesday with the spinach."
Girl, and listen to this.
Do that again. I'm like,
while he was eating it, he gonna say, "And next time you should probably put some tomatoes in here." I said, what the fuck?
You making requests? If you don't eat what I just made, and shut up.
Exactly. Like, really. Next time you would. And what makes it so bad is that I knew I was gonna cook him an omelet. So I was coming from somewhere. I don't remember. Oh, I was surprising my best friend yesterday, and I was coming from her house. Girl, and I was like, I knew I was gonna cook omelet. I was like, I know he liked tomatoes. I should stop at the store and get a tomato. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, bitch, no. Sit down. Like, you're absolutely doing too much at this point. Girl, like, come on, sis, sit down. No, you're spoiling him.
So what's been your biggest lesson in this like motherhood journey, you think?
Oh,
or like what now, if you knew now what you knew then, you know what I'm saying? If you knew then what you knew then, what would you tell yourself?
Yeah, so then? I related a lot with the previous girl, Bre'e. Was that her name?
Bre'e.
Yeah. So I had my son when I was 20.
Danielle said HU.
You know.
Okay, don't start that shit. It's
okay. Sorry. Okay.
Morgan State University. Okay. I mean, I went to HU for grad.
You really did.
They get a little bit.
You really went to HU for grad school.
That's my true alma mater, but I'll give HU a little.
HU was my master's, so I mean.
Okay, we ain't gonna get in that. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
I gotta bring Khadijah on here.
Okay, so well, give me my 2 minutes. Sure.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm just playing.
Lord.
So I had my son.
Girl, these girl CEOs is so high maintenance, honey. What? Ronnie done spoiled everybody on
Amber, HU, you know. I'm not gonna let Adrian rush me.
That's Danielle.
Oh, sorry, Danielle. Sorry. That's Danielle.
She's a photographer. Girl, you know Danielle. She was at the brunch with us.
That's why I said, "Oh, that's Danielle." I'm retarded. Okay. Anyway,
tell this story, girl.
Okay, sorry. All right. So I think my biggest lesson in motherhood. Dad, you gotta give me a chance to think. Shoot.
Bye, I guess you left. You came and left. Bye, boo. Sorry.
We both don't need this wine. So I think it's probably learning how to parent him, like you were saying before, in this society. We talk about that a lot. Like the other day when we were on the phone for almost 2 hours.
I know.
And I was
my
arguing
husband was like,
who are you talking?
He was like, another girl CEO. That's another girl CEO. I was like, shut up.
Girl, so I think it's parenting during this society, because when I was growing up, I'm the youngest of 5 kids.
Okay.
So with my father, like we talked about before, it wasn't any closed doors. Right. And everything, my mother and father are mid-60s. So I understand, all of the strict restrictions. I mean, my dad could look at me and I would be scared. Right. So it's kind of like, I don't think that we put that fear in them. Yeah. And that's one thing that, I mean, I think I do better than his dad at maintaining like his behaviors and correcting him and stuff like that. But I think my lesson is more so learning how to parent during these certain times. That would be my lesson. Yeah. And so the other day when we were on the phone, he closed the door and I was like, oh, what you doing in there? You know how we talk about not letting the kids close the door. Right. So that's, just trying to include what my dad and my mom did to me, or put the rules that they had for me, and try to instill them in him in such a different day and age.
And still give them their independence. It's like such a balance, because I know friends of mine, and again, everyone parents their own way, but I have some friends that like, they're like in their kids' social media, they monitor everything they do, they know their text message, they know this, they're literally like involved in
and
everything.
I do the same thing.
And I don't do that either, and some people do it and they feel like it's the right thing to do. But my thing is, don't you understand that these kids are smarter than that? Like,
wait,
if
but
they
I
know
do
that you're monitoring their shit,
but
they're
you
going to
told me
find
a
another
secret
way
about
around
that.
it.
You told me a secret about that. I was doing that. Remember, I was telling you that my son's father was checking his text, but you need to share with your audience what you told me about these text messages, because I was
saying that they have like all these different apps now, and it's probably like 100 million that I don't even know about, but they have like just something as simple as Snapchat or something where they DM or they send messages and they delete in 30 seconds, so they delete in 15 seconds or whatever it is. So it's like it's like you can monitor one thing and then they'll find a way around it. If you can monitor this thing, then they find another way around it. So if you think that they're dumb enough to really do something on the platform that you're monitoring, you're crazy. It's the same thing. I mean, think about what we did. I think about what I did. I was doing a whole bunch of shit when I was younger that my ass shouldn't have been doing. And when my mother thought I was here,
sneaking and
everything, to do what I wanted to do, my ass was over here. And guess what? I found a way to have my lie covered. I found a way to have, if she call you, you tell her that. Yeah, you want to find a way if you really want to do it.
Yeah, and so that's the lesson that I was taught.
Like, be overbearing, actually, in my opinion, is going to make them resist, push away even more.
Yeah, that's because on that Momish podcast that I did with Keeley, it was very, like I told her, I try to be open with my child. Like, if you listen to the podcast, Adrian, I know you listen to it, but yeah, your son deletes all the messages. Yeah, girl, listen. But I was talking to, what was I about to say? I was talking to you about it, and I'm always open with him. Yeah. So he actually comes to me and tells me certain stuff. I'm like,
yeah, my kids too.
I'll be so excited inside. I'm like, he told me that.
Right. But really, sometimes you be wanting to like throw up, gag, girl, or some of the stuff they tell you, like, oh my God, but then you be trying to like not react, because you like, oh my God, react, and they not gonna tell you the next thing.
Yes.
So it's a balance.
Then when he deletes the text, I would tell him, I can find anything because it's on your cloud. Like, I'll let him, like, stop playing with me. Exactly. So yeah, that's the biggest lesson.
I used to write stuff in my diary about my mother, girl, and then my mother would break into my damn diary and then find the shit. I remember one day I was so mad at my mother, I like wrote in my diary and called her a B. I don't know if my daughter's around. That's why so I called her a B, right? Wrote it in the diary. I was like, I can't stand you. I wish you weren't my mother. B.
All those emotions are real.
In the diary. I think my dumb ass forgot to put the lock on it. My mother went digging through my drawers, because of course she old school, so she gonna look through whatever she want to look through. Found the diary, read the stuff. So then the next morning, I don't think it was the next morning. I think my mother waited She let
Yeah.
it marinate.
Yeah.
So it was like 3-4 days later when I thought we were good again.
Right.
Girl, we were getting ready to go to school because she was driving me to school at that time because we moved, but I was still going to Largo because we didn't change school. So I was still going to Largo, but she was driving me because we had moved out like Hyattsville or something.
Yeah, out of the area.
So, she had came up to the door. I was walking out and she was like coming in or something, warming up the car. And she walked up to me and she was like, "So you think I'm a bitch, huh?" Girl, when I tell you I felt like literally my whole
Wait,
soul
Danielle said it made her start
left
writing
my
stuff.
body. Cause like when I tell you, listen, my mother doesn't fucking play. Like when I tell you my mother don't play, she don't play.
Yeah.
So when I tell you my whole soul left my body, she scared the living daylights out of me. And it's like, and then she didn't say nothing else. She just looked at me like, I know what you said about
and
me.
that's scary. That
was
stare
like, oh
is
my
scary.
God. And then she drove the whole way to school with me in the car, didn't say a word. I was like, oh my God, she is so gangster. I was scared the whole day in school, the whole day. I couldn't do no work. Girl, I couldn't concentrate. I was like, my mother would beat my ass. My mother was crazy. My mother would
square up
my ass. Like she didn't play. Like you might get a hook, you might get spanked, you might get a jab. Like my mother didn't play that shit at all.
Yeah, exactly. And just like you said, just that stare would get you. That stare was very like hard. Yes, girl. So that's my thing. Just trying to parent him now. That's all.
Okay.
Hey,
well, thank you for sharing. Let me bring. Is Khadijah ass even still on here? Khadijah, are you gone? I'm gonna bring Danielle on here. I don't know if Khadijah's still on here. She probably like, I'm tired of y'all. It's 8:52. We got 8 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Bring somebody else on here.
Go ahead, girl.
Okay, bye.
Bye, girl.
Is Khadijah still? Yeah, no, Khadijah. Amber, I'm saying Amber. Danielle, let me bring you on here. Where are you? Danielle might have left too. Oh, she said you can come to Kids Sleep. Request to join. Danielle, I don't see you on here. There you go. You gonna be my last guest of the night. Khadijah probably had to go. I see you talking about you like Adrian. We be talking. That's right.
Talking.
You let me say something.
She was on the phone with her for how many 4 hours?
That's exactly how we were on the phone forever. We were talking about it's supposed to be one thing, and then like an hour later, we
start talking about life. We start talking about these kids getting on our nerves doing this social distancing quarantine. Girl, we can talk about all the things, girl.
So what's been going on? This is our motherhood edition episode. I'm just wanted to celebrate all of us mothers, our motherhood,
girl, you empty,
struggles, everything. Girl, it's empty. Ain't nothing left to toast.
It was that
we're almost at the top of the hour. So I finished my wine just in time.
Look, I'm not gonna judge you, girl. Look, hold on. I do have a little pomegranate martini over here. It might not be in a wine or proper wine.
Girl, don't nobody care about no glassware. Don't nobody got time for that. It's quarantine. It's Corona.
Girl.
But come on here and drop some pearls for us, especially because you have younger children. So I just was asking like Quintina, I was asking Bre'e too before you came on, just about like lessons so far that you've learned in motherhood, and if you could have told yourself years ago now what you know now, what would you say? Like, just what are some like little pearls you could drop this last couple of minutes we have on motherhood?
Well, I will say like one of the first things I've recently been working on with my 5-year-old, because my 5-year-old was the only child for almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I had, my now 2-year-old going on 3-year-old, he'll be 3 this month. But I remember like how it was just me and my son. Like, I'm a nurse. I work night shift. We sleep together during the day, girl. We thugged it out. So I think he was just used to like it just being me and him. And so just for life purposes, like, I co-slept with my children just for sleep, because I'm like, if nobody get no sleep, we all gonna be in here crazy. So we did co-sleep. We slept like at first when we had them slept in the bassinet, and then as they got older, they slept in the bed with us. So girl, I remember, because my 5-year-old would like keep the my 2-year-old up, I had him, he was sleeping in his own bed before we had our son. And I now see that he's very competitive. And so I was looking this up, like where he like, we get out the car, he has to get to the front door first, like I'm first. He'll tell his brother, I win, you lose. And like, it's like, not just only that, he's competitive with everything. Like if my husband is racing him, he'll be like, I'm first, and he'll get so mad if he loses. And I'm like, this is not good. And so I was researching about it. I bought this book or whatever, and they call it like a super like they call them super competitive. And it's like, no matter what they do, they have to win and be first at everything. And I'm like, where does this stem from?
That's my youngest. That's how she is.
So I read that it's I've read that, like, now, like, because we was all trying to get sleep, I would not let my youngest son sleep in the room with my oldest son sleep in the bed with us. And I was like, now that I think about it, they were talking about it's like an emotional thing where they felt like a lack. And like they were saying that, like, maybe from the 2-year-old being in the room with us, and we making the others my oldest son sleep in his bed, it was like almost a comparison, like, oh my gosh, my parents may love my younger my younger brother more than me. So it's like an emotional thing where they feel like, okay, because that distance, they didn't let me sleep in the bed. And I was like, oh my gosh, we don't think about this. We just be thinking about, we trying to get our sleep. We're trying to make everybody happy. And they say that's particularly where the super competitiveness stems from. So now that we're in this quarantine, I'm seeing a lot of this. And to remedy that, I've been reading this book, and they were just like, basically continue to show him love. Don't try to make him not competitive. But just kind of like, if he says he's first, be like, oh, the first person gets hugs and kisses, and just like overshower him with love and make a game out of, kissing them. Like, how many kisses can I land on you? And like, it's just like, like, girl, even tonight, girl, we put him to bed, and my husband went to the store to get water or something, and he came back, and I was giving him hugging kids, like the kids were already in the bed, and then my 5-year-old, of course, finds an excuse to get out the bed. I'm hugging my husband or whatever. Girl, he gonna say, I was like, close the door, get back in the bed. He was like, I'm upset because mama loves dada more than me. And I was like, what?
Oh, no.
And my husband was like, why are you saying that? He was like, oh, because she's kissing you and she don't kiss me. I was like, didn't I just read you 4 bedtime stories? Didn't I just kiss you goodnight?
That's not bad.
When you wake up in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, I'm like, good morning, Lennox. Where's my hugs? Where's my kisses? And I'm like, what are you talking about? So
that might be his love language, though. I don't know if you believe in love languages, but it might be like touch and
hug and quality time.
Yeah, quality time. That might just be what he needs.
And one of the
all 3 of my kids have different love languages. But
every child needs something different.
Every child needs that like emotional connection with you. She needs to feel like you love her and hug her. She's very empathetic, and she has, to Bree's point, she has a really, really high emotional intelligence, like off the scales emotional intelligence.
So if something wrong with you, she's gonna pick up on it.
She can feel when things aren't right. She's very in tune with other people's feelings. She can feel that she'll be crying. If she could hear a story about someone that had, that is unfortunate or some type of misfortune, she's crying over that. Like, I mean, she's just very in tune with people's feelings. So it's like we have to parent her a different type of way. Because we have to love her a little bit differently than the others. But girl, we got 1 minute and 30 seconds left, so give me another pearl, and then we're gonna get off of here. Now I gotta jump on another one of my girlfriends' live so I can go support her.
Okay. Well,
you kids on here, my girl, you kid, the ultra entrepreneur, honey, baby has businesses. Okay,
the businesses.
If you're not following her, you need to follow her because she is a boss for real. But she said she's a Sagittarius, just like my youngest.
I'm a Sagittarius.
She said Sagittarius need all the feels, honey. They need all of the feels.
Well, I want to say,
don't be loving them halfway.
I just want to say that I'm proud of you. I just want to say that I'm proud of you for doing this. I see you going
Oh,
live
thank
very
you.
often. And I just want to say to all the mamas out there, all the parents out here doing this thing where we cook up in the house, get outside, find y'all joy, get some peace, find it somewhere, be gentle with yourself. If you yell at your kids, don't say you're a bad parent. Just, you know, continue to pray and try to do better. That's all.
I'm yelling at mine. Yells, and I'm putting an S on that. Mine's is getting yelled at. You get on my nerves, ass is getting yelled at. Period.
Oh,
And I'm
girl,
still a
they
good
be
mama.
trying your patience. And then I put them to bed, and then I'm like, okay, now I get like the evening to myself. Girl, that it don't be enough. I'd be like, I've given you all of me all day. Give me
all
this
ain't
evening,
enough,
please.
honey.
It's
all
not enough. But
well,
take some time. I try to take some.
in.
Okay.
We're gonna
take some time for
soon.
yourself in the morning before they wake up. That helps really good.
Talk to you later.